ringing of the temple bell. Sorry, good morning. We will begin our service with the ringing of the temple bell. At this time, please silence your cell phone and listen quietly as the sounding of the kansho is an invitation to settle our hearts and minds as we prepare to receive the Dharma. Thank you. Welcome and thank you for joining us for today's Dharma Family Service, even if it's a Super Bowl Sunday. I'm Maki Yamaguchi and I will be serving as your MC. Once again, Reverend Blaine regrets that he is unable to join us in person, so today's service will be conducted by Minister's Assistant and recently ordained Tokuro, Miss Linda Nagai. Assisting at the temple with technical support is a Zoom crew of Alan Matsumoto, Joy Gussman, and Rin Katayama. Colleen Chong is our organist, and Betty Takioka will lead the singing. Please rise and let us start the service with the Vandana and Tisarana. Please chant both the Pali and English parts together with Miss Linda. Those of you on Zoom, be sure you have muted your mics. Please remain standing for aspiration, which I will share with you. These are the words of Renyo Shonin. Listen to the Buddhist teaching, even if you must take time out from your daily businesses. To believe that you will listen when you have some spare time is shallow thinking. There is no tomorrow in listening to the teaching. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu. Please be seated. It's now time for offering of incense. We invite all Sangha members in attendance to please come up and offer incense, if you wish, starting with the front rows and move towards the back. Let us observe a moment of silent meditation. Miss Linda now lead us in chanting the sutra Juseigen. Words can be found on page 55 in the Jodo Shinshu service book. Again, page 55. For For today's Gasa, we will sing our Gasa festival song, Shinshu style. Darren has written Dharma lyric to John Crude's song Island Style. Let's give our ukulele group a little time to get ready. Please sing along with Auntie Betty. Words are available at the front table. Does everybody have a words? In our temple, we do it Shinshu style. From Amida to the Sangha, from Renyo to the Shinran side. In our Sangha, we do it local style. From Nembutsu to Mahalo, from Agasho to Ashaka side. Reverends on the altar chanting sutra real nice. Gasho to Amida Junirai, chant them twice. We say and think pure thoughts each day. We practice Dharma in the Jodoshin way. In our temple, we do it Shinshu style. From Amida to the Sangha, from Renyo to the Shinran side. In our Sangha, we do it local style. From Nembutsu to Mahalo, from Agasho to Ashaka side. Go Dharma school on the weekend, feel glad. If we no go, Auntie Betty will be sad. Dharma school teachers like to teach us. Be grateful and Nembutsu is a must in our temple. We do it Shinshu style. From Amida to the Sangha, from Renyo to the Shinran side. Picking. Golden chain of love is showing me the way. Stretch all around the world, world peace one day. And trust on me that you cannot go wrong. Say Namadubs and keep your link strong in our temple. We do it Shinshu Amida to the Sangha, from Renyu to the Shinran side. On Big Island, we do it island-wide. From Kohala to Nalehu, from the Hilo to the Kona side. In our temple, we do it Shinshu style. From Amida to the Sangha, from Renyu to the Shinran side. From Nembutsu to Mahalo, from Agasho to the Shaka side. From Kohala to Nalehu, from the Hilo to the Kona side. Okay, it's still a work in progress. But I'm only hearing myself sing, so you folks have to sing along because this song we're gonna be singing periodically in temple services as our regular gathas, okay? And for those of you who are going to the Gatha Fest, I just wanted to, there's a Gatha that BJ Soriano wrote, and everybody that goes to Gatha Fest will be singing this song. So we didn't really have time to practice it with everyone, but I wanted to kind of go over it so you can kind of be a little bit familiar with the tune, which we'll be singing on Sunday when we go to Hilo. So Corinne's going to play the real simple piano melody, and I'm just going to sing along. And maybe after you hear it once, we'll do it again. Okay, Corinne. Okay, that's the intro, okay? In times of trouble, when things seem far gone, the days are dreary and we feel alone. When we are weary and good days are few, remember to share in the Nembutsu. When speaking to others, we manage to say those simple, kind thoughts we are taught to convey. When our actions reflect what we should do, remember still share in the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. With hands in Gasho and hearts so true, we remember to share in the Nembutsu. So it's not a hard melody. So if you kind of sing along with it when everybody's going to be singing it together. So let's just go over the first verse and one chorus. So you can kind of like sort of get the melody in your head. Okay. Yeah. Okay, go. In times of trouble, when things seem far gone, the days are dreary and we feel alone. When we are weary and good days are few, remember to share Colleen, and thank you, Betty-san. Okay, so now Miss Linda will now share Dharma message.
Namandas, namanda. Good, good morning. Let's put our hands together in Gasho. Although the voice that calls, Namo Amida Butsu, is mine, it is the call of my dear parent saying, come as you are. Namandas, namandas, namandas. I'm kind of hesitant. I don't know which mic to go because I'm sorry, Zoomland. You didn't hear my chant this morning. I accidentally turned my microphone off. See, if I don't forget one thing, I forget the other. So sorry. You know how they have that live mic and, people say things, so I must have turned it off. I didn't want people to hear what I was saying in the back. So I forgot to turn it back on. Anyway, good morning again. And Reverend Blaine, if you're out there, hope you're feeling better today. Friday night, I was in Honolulu for Gisekai, Friday and Saturday. And we were networking at this place called Fujiyama, Texas, with Honolulu people, Oahu, Hawaii Island people, having a grand old time, talking, gossiping, complaining, everything. All of a sudden, I see this thing, Blaine Higa. So I pick it up, and he says, I have to give you bad news. I can't be there Sunday. Oh. So it was like, okay. And the thing is, it's nice to do this. So I was given the honor to talk today. The problem was everything, all my resources was in Kona. And I'm staying at the Alamano Hotel. And I said, okay, what do I write? What do I, I, I don't do this all the time. So it was like, okay. So when we got back to the hotel, out came the computer. Fortunately, I took that and I started typing. And then it hit me that, Reverend Blaine has a book club, and we just started it. And this is the book that we're reading is River of Fire. So I don't even remember the book. I don't even have the book. Dr. Uno's River of Fire, River of Water. Well, I have the book, and I had the book for 10 years. Problem is, I can't find it. And I've had it. I've seen it recently. I don't know where I put it. So I had to go and download it on Kindle. So fortunately, my iPad was there. So I could go and look at the um, look it through the look it through Kindle and take some few things on there. And I know it's Super Bowl Sunday, and I got Joey says, make it short. It's Super Bowl Sunday. I get a text from Betty says, make it short. It's Super Bowl Sunday. And then all of a sudden I look down, I see a text from Reverend Higa. You can make your talk short. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Okay. So I told them, I'll think about it. But it's so funny, and it will be short because it's a last minute thing. But to speak of Reverend Blaine's book club is very interesting, and Dr. Uno's book is very interesting. We have to, if you want to do it, we're going to meet, I think March 3rd or 6th or something like that is our next time. But you got to read 28 chapters, okay? But that's okay. It's short. Chapters are very short. We had to read 14 for the first week. I only got to 5. Other people got to 3. So you're not far behind. So we have to basically read 28 chapters. So please join us because it is a very interesting book. And I'll give you, you can kind of see kind of what it's like in today's talk. Okay, it's March 4th, and it's on Zoom. So please, you know, talk to Reverend Blaine. I'm pretty sure he will accept you. It'll be really nice. And if you don't have the book, you can download it on Kindle. You have it here. Okay, so since today is Super Bowl Sunday, I thought, okay, what would I talk about that would read to the book? But you know, as I was, and I watch football, but I'm not into it. Okay, I don't have a favorite team. My son's team is the Broncos. They're not playing. My son-in-law's team is the 49ers. They're playing. I don't care for either of them. They're fine. They're football players. Okay, they're really good. So whoever wins wins. But hearing my daughter and my son-in-law talk, they were talking about this guy, Brock Purdy. And then even if you're not a 49ers fan, you must admit his story is really remarkable. And I don't know, anybody, have you heard the buzz going on about him? Okay. Okay, so if I'm listening to them and just listening, so this is what I picked up, okay? And I hope I got this all correct. He was the final pick of the NFL draft in 2022. Nobody wanted him. Okay, so I guess because, and he's young, and if you look at his picture, he looks like he belongs in high school. He's very young looking. And so I guess no one wanted him. Can't win games with him, so not him, somebody else. So he was named Mr. Irrelevant. Nobody wanted him. So San Francisco picked him up, and he was the last pick. They picked him up, and of course, not being the one that they wanted, he was sitting on the bench for almost the entire season, basically. And then one quarterback got hurt, the other quarterback got hurt, and so all of a sudden you turn around and Mr. Irrelevant is sitting there. So what are you going to do? You need a quarterback. So they put him in. They put him in to play, and he took the 49ers to the playoffs. Just before going to the Super Bowl, he got hurt. So they didn't make the playoffs that year. So here, 2023, Mr. Irrelevant, guess where he is? He's at the Super Bowl. So, I mean, so whether you like 49ers or not, that is. So it's something to think about, that we're not really irrelevant, okay? The smallest sutra expresses the splendor of the multicolored lotus. It states that on the surface of the pools of the lotus blossoms, although they're large, they're of different colors, blue, yellow, red, white, and they're all different. However, they have a delicate fragrance. The lotus is an important religious symbol of the Asian world, and in the Pure Land tradition, it represents uniqueness of each person, and that each person is affirmed to become as he or she truly is, fulfilling the natural potential that's hidden within them. Now, we may know someone who we may think are irrelevant, or maybe at times we ourselves may have this feeling, especially when we experience difficulties, conflicts, frustrations in life. And it's funny, like today's song, in times of trouble when things seem far gone, the days are dreary, and we feel alone. This song kind of fits this. But Amida is like our parents who always welcomes us without any conditions. You can come as you are. It makes no difference if we're depressed, lonely, angry, rejected, frightened. Amida's great compassion awaits us. Amida awaits us with open arms. Come just as you are. Calling us through Namo Amida Butsu. Amida is with us, each of us right now, sharing our struggles, our pains, and our hopes. And Amida will remain by our side to help us in our spiritual journey. Here's a story that kind of hits close to home. And I think Reverend Munito was the one that put this in the book. And there's a lady, a Kona lady named Haru Masuda. Mrs. Masuda lived and worked on the family's coffee farm in the early days of coffee. She and her family worked from sunrise to sunset. In the coffee fields, her life was filled with hardships and disappointments. Mrs. Masuda wrote this poem. Embraced by true compassion, I vowed never to complain. Thinking thus again, I complained. Although knowing that she was embraced by Amida's compassion, she vowed not to complain about her hardships. And then she realized that she was complaining again. Does it sound like us? Yeah. That was her true nature, with blind passion, and that's the true nature of humankind. And yet, Amida's great compassion is waiting to receive us with open arms. And since Mrs. Masuda, and in closing, and since Mrs. Masuda is a Buddhist woman, I want to close with the words from the Buddhist Women's Pledge. There's a few words here. We live each moment within the embrace of Amida Buddha's infinite wisdom and compassion, grateful for all we receive. Let us put our hands in Gassho and recite the Buddha's name. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Thank you. Is that short enough, Joey?
Thank you for your message, Miss Linda. Now, Mimi Bergstrom will now lead us in unison reading of the Shinshu Pledge. Words can be found on the laminated handouts in the back of the pews and on the screen. Please join her in reading the word out loud.
I take my refuge in the
The
vow of the Buddha. Reciting the name, I will
we
live
through
with
life with strength and serenity.
I
I
revere the light of the Buddha.
I will put my effort in my work with
my
self-reflection and gratitude.
I will follow the teachings of the Buddha, discerning the right path. I will spread the true Dharma. I rejoice in the compassion of the Buddha. I will respect and help others and do my best for the welfare of humankind.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Namo. Namo.
We will now have the offertory presentation. Mahalo everyone for your generosity, which helps to sustain our temple. Please stand as we will conclude this service with singing of the Gasa Nembutsu.
Namandabs, 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 namandabs,
You may be seated. This concludes today's service. Here are some announcements. Next Sunday, February 18th, will be our annual Kyoda membership meeting and luncheon. At 10 a.m., we will start with a short service in remembrance of Sangha member who passed away last year. Honor our Teirokai members who have or will reach the age of 80 in 2024 and welcome new members. The membership meeting will occur after the service, which will then be followed by a New Year's luncheon with honor food, fellowship, and lots of prizes. Gasa Festival participants, we will perform our song Shinshu style as a practice performance for the real deal on the 25th. So please come prepared to sing and or play the ukulele. We hope you already registered online or called in our head count, but if you are forgotten, please call in or just show up anyway. On Sunday, February 25, there will be no service here at the temple because the 2024 Gasa Festival will be held at the Hirobetsin at 9:30 a.m. It is an annual sharing of Gasa by most temples on the Big Island. Konahonganji Sangha will participate and we will sing the song Shinshu style, which we sang this morning, accompanied by our fabulous ukulele troupe. If you haven't done so, please pick up printed information available at the front table. Also, a sign-up sheet for transportation is available. Anyone wishing to attend, please be sure to sign up as soon as possible so transportation arrangements can be made. The host temple, Hirobetsin, concurrently will hold a food drive for the food basket. So if you are able to, please bring non-perishable food and or monetary donations for this worthy cause. Sunday, March 3rd, BWA will sponsor Eshinni and Kakushinni Day service at 10 a.m. Guest speaker will be Reverend Barbara Brennan from the Windward Buddhist Temple on Oahu. The annual Buddha Day celebration, sponsored by the Hawaii Island chapter of the Hawaii Association of International Buddhists, or HAIB, H-A-I-B, will be held on March 10 at 9:30 a.m. here at the temple. Reminders. Please be sure to open, read, and click any attachment and interesting as well as useful links that were included with Eleven Brains weekly update email sent this past Friday. Please pay extra attention to Eleven Brains Shin Buddhist 101 class for beginners as well as old-timers who wants to refresher course on the basic of Shin Buddhism. It's a great chance for learning and to ask questions. Mark your calendar for Saturday, February 17th, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. here in the temple. And free COVID test kits are still available in the conference room. Any other announcement? Those of you on Zoom, you may leave at any time. Those of you are here in person, refreshments will be served in the conference room. Mahalo to Risho Tagawa, Nancy Ann Katayama, and Morris, and anyone else who brought the goodies to share. Your attendance today is most sincerely appreciated. Please stay healthy and safe, and we hope to see you at the next Sunday's annual Kyoda meeting and New Year's party. Thank you.